Hello, everybody, and welcome to the United Stand. We are joined again, thankfully, by Christian Falk. Welcome to the show again, Christian. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. I think the sun is shining on Bayern and Bavaria at the moment, and we're really happy to have our travel, I think you say in English, stars back in Munich. And I had a really nice interview with Thomas Müller already. He was still a little bit handicapped because of his party, but everything is good, and we're a little proud that Bayern Munich won the Champions League.
Well, we're going to be talking about the comparisons between Bayern Munich and Manchester United because there is a lot of frustration amongst United fans at the moment. Yet again, the transfer window not going the way we expected. Chelsea over here doing very well. But I wanted to compare it to Bayern Munich because I know you've got lots of knowledge on Bayern Munich. Van Gaal has been speaking, and obviously he's been at Bayern Munich and Manchester United. And I like, from an outside view, how Bayern Munich do run their club. You know, they're integrated with fans, but they've also got ex-players involved in high-up positions. Well, we're going to talk about that. But just a bit of topical stuff, first of all. We'll talk about Sancho, Thiago and Coman. But look, Bayern Munich did win the Champions League for the 6th time. They've levelled up with Liverpool on Sunday. I've been so impressed with Bayern Munich this season on the pitch. But it was a little bit closer than I thought on Sunday. I thought PSG at times... It was you know, for a 1-0 game, it was it was an entertaining game, and Bayern just doing what I expected them to do. I expected them to win, but it wasn't. I thought they might win 3 or 4-0. I felt that Bayern did enough. They didn't really play as well as they could do in that final. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, I talked with Philipp Lahm, our champion captain of the World Cup 2014, about this, and he said also that the new philosophy of the football is in Europe, that it's more powerful, that it's more speed and more enthusiasm. But this is also in a tournament, it's getting lower and lower because you don't have the power, and you know that wasn't a perfect preparation like we do in Germany for a World Cup. You know, we have tournament teams, and then they're always fit. They're not perhaps so good in technique like other teams, but they are really working hard. And which was very interesting, Philip said, is also that the times of tiki-taka is over now in Europe. When you see teams like Liverpool, Paris is also very playing quickly forward, and Bayern Munich changed their way too. And I think this was the secret of the success, but they were perhaps a little bit tired.
Yeah, it's interesting that I did a show on Sunday down in London, and we were talking about Manchester City, and I said, look, Manchester City's style of football is obviously very clear. You can see it at Bayern as well, but they've evolved from that. And I think that, you know, we can be very critical of long ball football, but also tiki-taka football is like anything. People learn to deal with it. And I think there has been an evolution, and you can see that with Bayern Munich. They're still very good on the ball, but they also work ridiculously hard like Klopp's teams do. They get the ball back very quickly. They press teams in. I thought the Barcelona game was a prime example of how the tiki-taka style of football has probably had its day, and this new powerful, good on the ball style and very, very clinical. I think Bayern Munich are just so clinical, and they totally deserve it. The interesting thing will be, do you think that they can retain it next year? Do you think that they're able to do that? I think Liverpool will come back as well. It's going to be very, very exciting.
Yeah, but there's no reason why they shouldn't do it again. But you know, it's very, very close at the end of this tournament. But if you see on the structure of the team, it's very interesting that players like Coman or like Gnabry or Kimmich, who is very important, perhaps he's more important when he's playing central. He played now on the right back because Pavard was injured. Pavard is also very young. So you have many, many young players in this team which are already very, very good, and they have a lot of games in their foot. So I think it's perhaps the big difference of this team and the Bayern Munich team in 2013, which were on the top level, and then you saw already that it's going down. But this team is just at the beginning, so why not?
Well, I'm glad you said that, because this is going to feed into what we're going to talk about Manchester United and the structure of Bayern. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. I think they have got so many players at the right age coming through as well. But before we talk about that, let's just touch on the transfer world a little bit. You mentioned Kingsley Coman there. Now, I don't think we mentioned it last time you were on the show, but I did see your tweet about it when Manchester United I think it was Andy Mitten or somebody over here who's a UK journalist mentioned Kingsley Coman as a player that United are looking at. Again, I saw Manchester Evening News mentioning a loan deal, but you came out at the time and said that you didn't feel that could happen. Is that still the case? I mean, Bayern Munich have got Sane, but I imagine Perisic goes back. So Kingsley Coman's still, he's still a first team player, really, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm very sorry for you. You won't see him in the Premier League next season. Paris was interested in him, and there was a little chance because Kingsley was not really lucky about his situation because we bought Leroy Sané, which can play on his position, but there is no chance that Bayern Munich will sell him, and he knows it. And I think he's now fine with it. He see what the philosophy of the next year will be, and Bayern Munich is going in the next season with this 3 players for the wings with Gnabry, Coman, and Sané. They won't play all the time, but Sané already agreed that he is not playing every game because it's not possible anymore. We have too many matches, and so I am sure, because I talked with some people who should agree to sell him, that they won't sell him. And City tried also to make a swap deal when they got Sané, but till the last, also in the last week, still a few days before they made the deal, they tried always to get Coman, and Coman perhaps would have done it because Pep wanted him also, but there was never a chance to get him, and now he scored the important goal in the final, so there's no reason why I should do it now.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to get that from a United fan perspective because it is a name that just seems to, UK journalists talk about it, and it's nice to have that, that it can't happen. I mean, look, we can't buy everybody at United. We're not buying anybody at the moment, but it's always nice to know that a rumour is, Koeman's a good player, but if it's not possible, you move on, don't you? Yeah,
and I think, you have the problem that you don't have Sancho at the moment. Yeah. And so I think if you see what's happening there, the club is always talking a little bit for the poker with Borussia Dortmund to say, there are other solutions we have. Perhaps we get Coman, and so it's always good for the talks. But there is a very, very close relationship between the boss of Dortmund and the boss of Bayern Munich, and they telephone as well, so they can stop it.
This is the problem. I mean, I know you do the poker and it's great, but the thing is, Manchester United fans, even we don't believe that we're looking at anybody else. So I always think, how stupid do they think Dortmund are? Who they're probably looking at it like United fans going, they're not really in for that. They want Sancho. I mean, just on Sancho, I pretty much know what you're going to say about that. That I presume the situation is still the same. That United have got to pay the price, and if they don't pay the price, they don't get the player. There is a little bit of rumour. I don't think it's. I wouldn't sell my house on it that United are going to go in with a bid this week. It's a big 2 weeks though, I think, because when does the Bundesliga start? Because the Premier League starts in about 2.5 weeks. So this is the window to sort of do deals. I know they can be done towards October, but this next 2 weeks is really quite an important time when you see that Chelsea is starting to get the Havertz deal done before the season starts.
Yeah, Dortmund wants to know for their preparation that they have Sancho or they don't have him. But I think you said it already. It's a question of money. We have a window for the transfers till the 5th of October. And, if Man U is paying the price, it will be difficult to explain Sancho why he couldn't leave. So I think there's still a chance, but it's up to United to pay the price. And I think Dortmund is not really unlucky if they don't do it. And you hear the many rumors, and it's quiet from the clubs at the moment. So I'm not sure if they can do it this season. And, Dortmund has a wonderful situation because they made secretly 1 year more contract on him. So they don't, the contract is not running out in the next 1 or 2 years. So they get the same price next year also. So why shouldn't sell them now? Next year is perhaps no Corona. The prices will go up. So they are really, really looking at this. How do you say it?
Comfortably. Yeah, relaxed. Yeah. Do you think that? I mean, one thing that you said there that's quite interesting, and as a United fan, I think United will sign him. There's a lot of United fans who think it's not going to happen now, but I've seen this happen a lot with Harry Maguire and Bruno Fernandes. We drag it out for ages. And what you said there about, I think we know that Sancho would like to move, but obviously United have got to pay the price. For me, I think that this could go end of September, which doesn't suit anybody. United pay the price. Dortmund feel that they've got to then, take it because maybe there's some sort of agreement with the player that if it's paid that he can go. And then that leaves Dortmund short. Do you think that Dortmund will look at bringing a replacement in, or do you think they will just wait and see what happens?
Yeah, they have it already with Bellingham. United fans know best. But they're still looking. I heard from a few agents they are asking how the situation is, but it's not so concrete. So I think they're waiting, and if they get this price, I think they have all opportunities to buy anybody. So they don't have to. They have already a very, very big squad. So I already told you, they are relaxed. Sancho is a very, very special player. They would like to win the championship after 8 years in a row from Bayern Munich. So if they have him next year, they are fine. But there are promises, Havertz, he has a promise from Leverkusen that he can leave if a club pay the price. And it's the same like Sancho. So I think Sancho is a good guy. He don't make any strikes like Aubameyang or Dembele. But it will be very difficult to explain him why he shouldn't leave if there is United to there and paying the price. But it's now end of summer. We will see. And if you don't get him this year, I think you get him next year.
And just on that, we'll feed this into the Bayern Munich thing. So it very much seems like Dortmund totally relaxed, like you say. They've got every right. He's got 3 years left on his contract. He's a very good player. They want 120 million euros, whether that's structured or whatnot. They want 120 million euros. That's not going to come down. I know that. You know that. Everybody knows that. Sancho knows that. If Manchester United pay 120 million euros, they'll get Jadon Sancho. And the frustrating thing is for everybody is that are Manchester United going to pay it, or are they not going to pay it? And waiting another month or 6 weeks doesn't change the fact that they've got to pay it or not pay it. And this is why Manchester United fans are frustrated, because I personally think we should pay it. I think it's a fair price in this market, and I think we should get the player that is a very good player, like you say. Some people think, well, don't pay it and go and get somebody else, but they won't do that. Now, talking about Bayern Munich, and we were saying this before we went live about Van Gaal coming out and saying that his time at Manchester United was frustrating because he's in the past, he said it's like a business and not a football club. And many Manchester United fans watching will agree with that. He had a list of players that he wanted. He never got those players. We were unable to do that. We've mentioned Bellingham. You've mentioned Bellingham, and we've seen with Haaland as well. Players that they don't go for the Manchester United project. They seem to go for the money, and we seem to do well on a deal when nobody else is competing for us. Now, Bayern Munich, if this was Bayern Munich and they wanted Jadon Sancho, could you imagine a situation where they would be dragging this out, or would they just be like, we'll pay the money and get the deal done? How do Bayern Munich differ to Manchester United? Because they've built and it's not just this year, every year they seem to be very good at transfers. They've got a very good structure at the club, very good reputation. Players want to go there. They don't seem to have these sort of problems that a big club like Manchester United should have. And that frustrates the fans because we feel we are the Bayern Munich of England, but we don't act like that.
Yeah, there are 2 or 3 important points in the philosophy of Bayern Munich. Perhaps this is a big difference. Very important was about 10 years ago when Bayern had the chance to sell Ribéry to Chelsea. There was a promise, like now at Sancho and Havertz, for example, that he could leave for 100 million euros. And, Ribéry is like a son for Uli Hoeneß, which was the president at this time. And he was afraid of this offer because he heard Chelsea will do it. And but at the end, Chelsea just, I think it was 70 or 80 million euros they offered plus Bosingwa. So a kind of swap deal, so he could say no. And this was a very important time for Bayern Munich because the next days they decided they won't sell any players anymore if they don't want. They won't be a sellers club. They will be a buyer club. And that's why Lewandowski didn't go to Real Madrid last year. I think this was really, really close, because I think colleagues showed there was still a contract, and he changed his agent. But Lewandowski never had a chance, because Bayern Munich said, no, they can pay what they want. We will leave you here. We give you a new contract. We give you more money. So this is very important thing. So you don't have any clauses in the contracts of a player. So Bayern Munich is always at the point to say no. This is one important thing. Another important thing is that Bayern Munich has the philosophy that they just spend money which they have earned before. So if we want to buy Sancho, they shall look at the bank account and say, we have the money, we could do it, we don't do it. They did it once with Hernandez, and now he's not even playing. So they're not so fan of such big deals, because before it was Tolisso was 41.5 million euros, which is in England, you would laugh about it. He was the most expensive player of all times at this point. So
he's not done that well either, has he? Yeah.
Yeah. So they see that it's more important to buy bit per bit and step per step, and not many big transfers in one window. That's why you saw the final team in Lisbon. There were 4 or 5 players from 2013 on the pitch, and the other players came, like Leroy now for next season. It's always important to have a concurrence, a new star, but they don't do it. We throw Bastian Schweinsteiger out and buy Pogba, and we buy this one and this one. This is not the Bayern Munich way. And I think, which you saw at the final, the team is very important still. And there we don't have a Mbappé, we don't have a Neymar, but the team was very good, and you saw how many players could score the goals for Bayern Munich. And this is very important. So because when Neymar had the ball, there were 3 Bayern Munich players on him. You can't do that with Bayern Munich, because there is no Neymar. You can put out the game and nothing would work. And there is still one important thing of Bayern Munich, that they can't anybody say to the bosses, which know very well about football, because they're coming from the football, and no one who give the money in can say, no, I would like this player because I love it, because they have in the structure that the members of a club can decide if an investor would come into the club, and they always say no. They're just allowed to sell 30% of the club to people who give the money, and they did it. And these are partners which are also sponsors, which work with Bayern Munich since decades. So they are always in the position to decide themselves, and I think this is the big important thing, because I knew how it worked with Bastian Schweinsteiger. It wasn't Mourinho alone who said no. He's excused later to Bastian, I know that, because he said, I had a lot of pressure from the club to do this, to put you out, to sell you. And sad things could never happen at Bayern Munich, and this is fine for the football.
So at Bayern Munich, I mean, at Manchester United, Mourinho said this himself. He said, I was the manager, and then above me, there is people making decisions, but they are not football people, and they're certainly not Manchester United people. Manchester United fans would love to have a sporting director or a director of football who knows football, who works with the manager and the coaching staff. At Bayern Munich, you've got your coach who's just won the Champions League, but above him, does he do the transfers, or is there a CEO who's an ex-player? Have they got a structure like Man City and Liverpool do? Is that part of their success as well?
Yes, indeed. The manager, we call him coach, is not so big in transfers like it is in England. But we had a discussion this year, because Flick said he wanted to have a right to say no. And we have also a sporting director, which is Hasan Salihamidzic. He was in the winner team of the Champions League 2001.
Yeah, I know the name, yeah.
Yeah, so they had discussions, because they had there were a few transfers which were not the same meaning, but I think they find a way. But the big difference about our system is that if the coach is fired, you still have a sporting director which can give a philosophy. If the coach at an English team go away, you have a new coach with new ideas. You want to change everything. So perhaps this is a little big difference. And I remember when Louis van Gaal came to United, and you're right, it's true. He wanted Müller, and there was an offer about over 100 million, and somebody from Bayern Munich confirmed that to me. They had it on the table, but Bayern Munich was again in the position to say no. Müller wasn't so playing well at the moment, but they say, hey, no, Müller is a Bayern Munich player. He's a talent of our club, and he's a face, and we won't let him go. And Müller had to accept it. At this time, it was not so easy for him. But you saw at the end, he was so important this year. It was the right decision. And Hummels was a little bit quite the same. Louis van Gaal wanted him, and Mats said to me that he thought about it to go there. But in Bayern Munich, this is very, very special of this club, that there's always a very, very big couple of guys which are playing in the German national team. And they stick together. And Philipp Lahm said it to me also. He said, if you have 4 or 5 players of a German national team, and they say, hey, come to us, we do the job there, and we have a few superstars, and we will do it, and you will be important. It's always easy, and so you get a very, very big identification for this club. And every German player would like to play for this club anyway. I thought about Leroy Sané when he was going away to Premier League. I said, oh, this was our last chance to hold him in the league, because often when they're away, it's hard to get them back, because they're very well paid in England. You have a lot of audience everywhere in the world. Bundesliga is not so famous like the Premier League, but you see, Bayern Munich told him, you're one player in Manchester City, one of many stars. If you come to Bayern Munich, you are the top star in the league, and come to us, because we are Bayern Munich. We're playing every year Champions League, and everybody will see you in the world, also in Champions League, if you're doing well. And I think this is very, very good for Bayern Munich to get the players. So you will see when the next talents are coming up from Germany. The normal step is, if you leave a good club in Germany, you go to the best club, and this is Bayern Munich, and then you can go to Premier League. And this is a really, really big advantage for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, I like Leroy Sané. I know he played for Manchester City, but he was one, and a lot of United fans feel this. It's quite rare. I always think with Sané, he's the closest thing I've seen in the Premier League since Ryan Giggs' prime. He's got that left foot. He's got that balance. He's a fantastic player, and he's a loss to the Premier League, really, and a real big talent for Bayern Munich, and he will definitely make them stronger if he stays fit. I mean, just sticking with Bayern Munich, when you look at Manchester United, do you, as somebody who's has information about transfers, but also lots of information on Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich have got a fantastic reputation in world football, both on and off the pitch. They're very well run, like you said, and then on the pitch they're delivering. Where do you think Manchester United are failing at the moment? Do you think they need to be more like Bayern Munich, or are they nowhere near that? The Dortmund Sancho thing, it feels like we're the club that's being if anybody's losing the PR battle or looking a bit embarrassing, it's Man United. Dortmund are just sat there saying, relaxed, like you say. What is it that's going wrong for Manchester United? Because many fans feel it's just ownership, lack of a director of football. As you said, when you change a manager, everything changes, because we don't have, Bayern can sack a manager and the structure is above them. What do you think is going wrong at Manchester United in that sense? For a big club, we're nowhere near the Juventuses or the Bayern Munichs anymore.
It's really crazy, because Manchester United was on top. Bayern Munich in the early years of this century said, we want to go there where Manchester United is. And so they did everything to go there. And this is not ages ago. We're talking 15 years or so. Yeah. And now Bayern Munich is on the top, and nobody knows really what was happening to United at this case. But even Bastian Schweinsteiger had on his bell the name of Cantona. So you saw what this team made for us here in Germany. But Jori said it rightly. you need a very, very good philosophy for the next years. And I think Louis van Gaal, which was very, very important for the education of Bayern Munich, because the style we're playing now was made of him. The talents we have now with Müller or Alaba, this was also Louis van Gaal, and he started exactly the same way at United. That's why you have such players like Rashford, and Lingard also. He did it because he has a really clear concept. He showed me when I was in Portugal to visit him. He always has 3 young players in the offensive, in the midfield, in the defense. And if you go this way, you have to go it not 1 year or 2 years. And he was really close to be sacked also in the first year by Munich too. So, but they didn't sack him. So, but Manchester United must be again the club where an English young player would like to do his career. You have now the chance because you don't have to win the championship every year because you're not at the top, at the moment in the league. So, but this is also a chance, like Dortmund did it a few years ago with Jürgen Klopp, when they took their time to get the talents. Lewandowski wasn't playing in the first year when they bought him, but he had time. And if you have these players and you keep them, and you should never sell Rashford, it would be at the end. You should get more Rashfords. And then when you say, oh, I'm an English player, I have a chance to play at United, and I don't know if I have a chance to play if I go to City because there's so many foreign stars. You won't win the Champions League perhaps next year, but perhaps in 2 years or 3. So I think this is the philosophy of Bayern Munich, to get the German talents, and it should be also the philosophy of United to get the English talents. And I think they know it because you see, they want Sancho, they wanted Bellingham, and I think this is the right way because the image is huge still, and nobody says that they don't come back on Champions League every year. Everybody's looking what United is doing again because they have the money, they have the stadium, they have the fans. It's a sleeping giant, we say in German, and we will see what it happened, but they have to do it in a consequent way and not say, oh, we have a new coach and we throw him out and buying the next Pogba. That won't work.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's very important that Solskjaer is given as long as possible, because the minute you sack him, you have to break it all down and start again, and then the cycle continues. And I think patience will be important. One thing I didn't ask you before we go, Christian, actually, I don't think it will impact on Manchester United at all, but it's another player that played very well. I thought he was a starter and he played very well, certainly in the semi-final, and he played in the final as well. Thiago, 29. His contract is the issue here. This is why he's pretty much got a decision to make. I think Bayern would like to keep him, but Liverpool are... I actually didn't think I would have wanted him at United, but looking at him in the last few games, I think if he can stay fit, he's a fantastic player. What do you think the future for Thiago is? Because I know we will have some Liverpool fans watching simply for this.
So I know that nobody of the bosses tried on the party to convince him to stay, because everybody knows he made his decision. Perhaps it's now easier for him to leave because he won everything what is possible at Bayern Munich. But he also saw, and I told you about this German way, that the big stars will always be the Kimmich and so on, and Neuer. And he's just one of many players. He is an important player. He is a leader. But when he came to Bayern Munich, he left Barcelona because there was a Messi, and there was a Xavi and an Iniesta, but he wants to be like them. He wants to be the big star in the team, but he won't be the one and only at Bayern Munich. So perhaps at Liverpool, you have in the midfield positions where he can show what he can, because Liverpool doesn't have a player like him.
No.
He was now working on his defense qualities. So perhaps he's the puzzle which Liverpool needs next to develop, because they are brilliant at the moment, but you always need some new players to make something new. Otherwise, it's getting down with the team. So it can be interesting, and he will leave. And if Liverpool pay the price, here we are again. They didn't do it at Werner. So Klopp will be not very, very happy if he loses the next player he wanted. So we will see. And I know that Bayern Munich thinks that in the next days there will be an offer from Liverpool. Now we have to say how high it is. And I know that Barcelona is also watching what will happen there. They need new players like Thiago. They don't have the money at the moment, perhaps, but they have still one shot where they can pay a price. But I think next year, if there would be no contract at the moment, it would be for Thiago, perhaps Barcelona. But everybody I've talked with about Thiago in the club said he would like to go to Premier League now. This is his next dream. So it's to Liverpool to make it true.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because I'm sure he probably will go to Liverpool, but as a Manchester United fan, and I know there'll be a lot saying, £30 million, we've definitely got it. We do need a player like that. He's 29, but it just doesn't seem to be. And I think last time we spoke, there was a little bit of talk in Bayern Munich felt that Manchester United might go for it. But I suppose we're just all on Sancho, aren't we? I don't think that Thiago is going to be a United option. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I think Bayern Munich, they are talking with your club, so they know what they are thinking about United. But you see, he's 29, and I'm not sure if he will go to a club where he can't win the Champions League. Definitely next year. He doesn't have so many time. I'm not sure if he would take his time to develop a new team. It would be also a big chance for him because he would be this leader they don't have on this position at the moment where the young players can look and grow. But perhaps he would like to win it a little bit earlier, the titles, also the Premier League one. So I think it's still Liverpool.
Yeah, and I've said this before to our viewers, the reality is we don't like it, but Liverpool are where we were 10 years ago, where teams will look at United and find them more attractive. And at the moment, teams will look at Liverpool, Champions League winners, well, not anymore, that's Bayern, but Premier League winners, and it is more attractive. But we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully, we'll get the Sancho deal done. But look, Christian, I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I thoroughly enjoyed having you on the show again, especially that insight to Bayern now that they are on top of Europe with their Champions League results. Give us a shout. What is your Twitter? It's at CFB Falk. Is that right?
Yeah, my Twitter CF Bayern is because Christian is my name and Falk also. That's why it works very well with Bayern. Some people perhaps read FC Bayern, but that's okay. So the question was?
Yeah, no, that was it. I'll put the link in the video description for people to give Christian a follow on Twitter anyway. And hopefully very soon you'll be saying those famous words true in relation to Manchester United paying this fee that everybody wants them to pay for Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, I would like it to do it perhaps next year because I can see Sancho a little more often when he plays in the Bundesliga. But I think he's a player for Manchester United, and I think it's okay. And if we will leave him in Germany, you can have him.
Okay, Christian. Well, thanks very much for coming on the show, and we really appreciate having you on again.
Thank you very much, and Servus, we will say in Bavaria.
Okay, and we're